Have you ever thought about dating a Thai girl with the intention of having a long-term relationship? Well, strap yourself in for that. I dated a Thai girl here in Jomtien for just under a year last year. And when I think back, there's a lot of things that make me cringe and there's a lot of things that make me smile. That was a hell of a learning curve for me. Trying to teach myself not to mansplain everything from a Westerner's perspective. Trying not to constantly say, well, this is how things should be, or this is how things are back in my country. That stuff doesn't go down well, does it? And I reckon if one's seeking a long-term relationship with a Thai lady, one has to consider that there's really only a finite pool of people that one can choose from in Thailand. And I'll explain what I mean about that. I've been dating a girl for a while, semi-dating. We can talk about that in a second. I have to go meet Danny because we're off to the sauna. I'll just go jump on the bike. You can see Koh Lan Island behind me. It's a bit windy today. I don't know how the weather's going to end up. Just on the right, that's the sauna Danny and I are off to. I remember lying in bed next to this Thai girl and seeing her FaceTime phone conversations with her mum back in the village and seeing how excited she got when she'd sent some money up and helped mum pay for a new, something simple, like fry pans or something. And the joy and the excitement in her eyes made me smile. But before you can smile, it takes some adjusting, yeah? Some cultural adjustments to the way you think needs to take place. Because initially, when I saw things like this, I was quite taken back by these sorts of reactions because I was not used to people getting excited over something so little. As of yesterday, I have lived in Thailand for 2 whole years. And today, I'm in Pratamnak at Dom's Pizzeria, and this is where it really all started for me. I had traveled to Thailand with a couple of friends 10 or 15 years ago, but mainly Bangkok and Phuket. But first time Keezy invited me to Pratamnak, this is where we stayed. So I like to come back here for old time's sake and have some breakfast.
Omelette cheese.
Kapun ka. Look at that.
Got a black pepper here.
Thank you, brother. Cheese omelette with toast, and the man recommends black pepper. Yeah. This is the Sands Sauna Beach Club down here on Pratamnak Soi 5 on the corner. And Danny tells me that it's time for me to try my first ever ice bath. Wish me luck. We have to talk about fishing. Fishing from a particular pool, a pool of people. So this pie chart on the screen, I just put that together. I don't know the numbers exactly. It's a wild stab in the dark. It's a very loose take. It's my take on the ratio of females in Thailand that may be willing to consider having a long-term relationship with a Western man. It's taken me 2 years living here for me to get a grasp on the expectations that Thai people have about what it's like to date a Western man. 10 seconds, I'm out. The winds have come up in a serious way here. My gut feeling is there's a notable portion of the population here in Thailand that would not ever consider dating or marrying a Western man. From what I've learned, living in Jomtien and traveling to Bangkok and all through regional Thailand, my gut is telling me that dating a Westerner is a little bit taboo here, at least for some people. And this is not dissimilar to so many other places around the world where interracial, intercultural relationships do attract extra attention when that couple is walking down the street, right? Same is the case here. If you go back to your Thai girlfriend's family to meet them, I believe that you may be met with a little bit of skepticism. The family's likely going to be asking questions like, how long is this fellow really planning to stay here in this country? How culturally flexible, how malleable is this Westerner in terms of fitting in with the status quo here? And of course, what does he bring to the table for our family. Now we're speaking in general terms here. Of course, there are so many females that are self-supporting who are more than happy to contribute to the relationship financially 50-50. But that's not always the case. It must also be said that the language barrier will be a concern for a significant portion of Thai women here because they have not grown up speaking English. Many Thai people have grown up here not steeped in Western culture. If you said to them words like Elvis Presley or Marilyn Monroe or Protestant Catholic English, Northern Ireland tension, none of those terms are going to resonate with them because that's not the world that they were brought into. I suspect for a notable portion of the Thai population, the females, they would not even consider having a relationship with a Western man simply because of that cultural and language barrier that does exist. Now, as well as finding your cultural and linguistic perfect match, one also has to consider trying to find one's financial match. I think it's going to work a lot better if that lady's financial expectations and that man's financial capacity are on an even keel, right? Particularly if it's quite a traditional style relationship. Now, if a man with limited financial resources gets together with a female that has high financial expectations, she wants to go on trips to Paris every year, that sort of thing, that lack of financial balance within the relationship eventually will start to cause friction, surely. Even though there are certain pockets of great wealth all across Thailand, particularly in Bangkok. There's also the opposite. For someone that's spent a reasonable amount of time traveling into regional Thailand, I have seen the poverty in places, or the very basic living conditions. Western men, I think, need to keep this in mind when dating Thai people and considering a long-term relationship with a Thai lady. Just because she presents very well with a nice watch and some jewelry and nice clothes, that's not to say that there is a concerning amount of debt attached to her extended family, which she may be responsible for. Hi, say hello. I've just sat down at the ice cream parlor. I'll tell you about who I've been dating the last couple of months. Semi-dating. A Thai lady in her early 30s. She works up in North Pattaya, which is quite a long way from South Jomtien, where I live. When I think about this relationship with potential for it being a long-term thing, I have to make a few assessments, right? Firstly, I'll look at language barrier. So she has almost no English and I have almost no Thai. When I compare my level of Thai, I would say her English is probably ×3 better than my Thai. But for all intents and purposes, if we're having a serious conversation about anything, we're using Google Translate, which I have to say has been quite fun actually. There's a lot of Western men out there that have had long-term successful relationships and marriages with a Thai lady that have very limited English and that have still managed to have a successful relationship together. You can make it work. After having a long-term 1-year relationship with another Thai girl with a significant amount of family debt, I'm not prepared to go into that scenario for a second time. So as harsh as this sounds, I cannot have a long-term relationship with this lovely girl until she has finished paying off the debts that she's accumulated in the last 10 or 15 years of her life. She got married to a Thai guy quite young. She had 2 beautiful young boys, and now 2 and 4. Her and her ex-husband went into debt from a bank when they started a business. They also have a car loan together still, and they also have a property mortgage together still. So while they may not be living together, they may not even be married still, of course, their financial responsibilities are still heavily interconnected. Now, if I was someone who wanted to jump into a long-term relationship with this sort of person and had bags of money, I could theoretically clear those debts for her and we could go on our way, not having to worry about that. But I'm of course not in that financial position, so it's on her to keep working up in North Pattaya until she's paid back those debts. Then we can start to think about having a serious relationship.